Well, it is nice to see you back again. It is day 3 since I've been at Harvard University and watching trials. And one of the trials we're going to watch today is the Paul Caneiro case. I'm like, I want to just interject. Don't begin the question with an and, Michael. I am back.
And I am glad. Okay, so yeah, this case, it is wild. We have a very special guest, perhaps two. And we're going to get into this case, which is kind of taken over your former county.
Justice, where are you? Michael and Linda are here.
Love you, Linda.
The world is justice. Will we ever find justice?
The courthouse the other day in the hallway, you're singing
Will
"Oh
we
Happy
know
Day."
justice when we see it? To be and down, I lead the way. Hoping justice will win the day. It's no recluse, finding justice where we can. Join us now, we're on the run. Justice is waiting, we'll see it done.
Alrighty then. So before we get into True Crime Roulette, as we roll through day 3 of the Caneiro case, let me do this before I forget. Thank you, Susan, for her donation through Venmo. I appreciate that. We appreciate that. And before we get into this trial, I think we got a couple of things. Okay, go ahead. Fire
we
away.
have so many of them that you cut off the rip and read. Okay, I really have one, and one I want to talk about has to do with the case that we talked about last night. Okay, and that's the Timothy Busfield case and Melissa Gilbert case. And the reason why I want to talk about it is we played the video of him turning himself in last night. Remember, he's charged with federal counts of child abuse, different types of abuse. I'm not going to get into what they are and all. He's married to Melissa Gilbert, a Little House on the Prairie fame. One of the things is they actually live in the next town over, where I have a cabin, where you have been, Michael Bryant. That
I've
picture
been there. It's your
of you
secret
and I
lair.
sitting, that you and I
Yes.
sitting in the chair together, cushy in the TV studio up there, right over there. And I want to talk about something because after he turned himself in, right, from the, and by the way, this is a quiet, sleepy little county. This is a quiet town. Very, there's not many places to go. There's been a number of articles showing the house, but let me just show you. This is what, for instance, there's the feds. Okay, they actually are there. Let's look at another picture. Look at that gun. Okay,
Yeah,
remember
this is to bring down a foreign terrorist. Is that what this is?
I mean, he's in custody. All right, they battered the door down. Okay, now this is better. This is them. And let me I can load actually one more picture and show you about why this doesn't look like a here's some, like, if you visited their house, and I'm going to add this to the stage right now. If you visited their house, and if I can add this to the stage, there you go, add to the stage. You get a Polaroid picture, your picture goes on the wall. But it's a sleepy little county. If you go to the Guardian actually has an exclusive video of the door being battered down after he has turned himself in. There's a question whether or not they're going to go after Melissa Gilbert. All the articles are. Now, let me remind you, everybody is innocent until proven guilty.
Yes.
And by the way, in this town, there is big support for Melissa Gilbert. She's an enormous part of the town. She's been there since 2018. They bought this rundown house for about $98,000 with about 14 acres. And again, sleepy little town, upstate New York. You really don't need all those federal agents battering down a cabin that has one bathroom in it. So,
and this is after the suspect had already turned himself in. So
right,
this was not a Ted Kaczynski kind of thing.
No,
going on in the mountains.
No, this is not Ted Kaczynski at all.
So you're saying it was overkill? I think
this
is what I'm
is
getting.
Highland Lake in New York, Sullivan County. All right, and again, a lot of support for them up there, or for her, I will say, and for him who's been charged. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty. And for those of us in Sullivan County, we really like to keep the tiny little nice county. We don't really want to see battering rams on our doors. I mean, you've been to my cabin. I mean, the battering ram would be bigger than the cabin, probably. So
That's possible.
just point out that's still going on, and that will be going on, and we will be covering it, even though it's federal, because of my interest in the case. Just I have an
So
interest.
basically
in
a
the case
neighbor.
today. Yes.
I think he needs a superhero. Mhm.
Oh, that looks
Okay,
like
so-
Michael Bryant. How
so-
can I be a superhero?
I'll bet you that request will be granted. Just a guess.
I have bracelets on. Okay,
Just
I
a
can
guess
be
on my
super-
part. Yeah, there you
Okay,
go. Like you're
there
like
we go.
Wonder Woman. A couple of things. We heard from Alan Jackson on the Morrissey. Michael Morrissey decided not to run for DA, and so basically Alan Jackson's comment. It was long and well thought out. It was fully throated, his statement, but basically says the ground gave way underneath Michael Morrissey, and I think there's no doubt about that. It collapsed. How could he even consider running again with everything that's out there and about him? Although he is pretty arrogant. Kiefer Sutherland.
No, not Alan Jackson. You're talking about
Not
Michael.
Alan Jackson. No,
Matter of fact, I
Jackson's
was
not
texting-
running for
I
DA.
was texting with Alan
Although
Jackson today,
that
actually.
might be interesting. Alan Jackson running for DA. That would
I
be
don't
very
think he's.
interesting.
I don't think he's going to come to Norfolk County.
I don't think he can afford the pay cut.
Tacko and
So,
Ben Teddy, But I
Kiefer
texted with
Sutherland.
him today,
Oh, you
supposedly.
did? Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just want to tell you that I texted with AJ. We were adversaries for 6 months in the courtroom, but we become friends, as you saw from our opening. AJ is one of the finest lawyers, I think, in the United States of America.
And a friend of the show. So, Kiefer Sutherland, he's been arrested for beating up a Lyft driver. I don't know if it was a Lyft versus Uber, but a rideshare driver. So that'll be very interesting. This guy, he's had issues. He's had some DUIs. He's had a number of other challenges. And I think I have full disclosure here. I think he's a hack. I think he's a horrible actor. I think he got into his dad's amazing, Donald Sutherland. But the son, Kiefer, not so good. Got some major issues, social issues, I'll call them. He's going to have to take some responsibility and deal with that. And not
speaking about fathers and
free card.
sons and parents and children. This Friday, we're going to discuss the Karen Reed movie, the Lifetime movie. And what some of you don't know is
that it's on Lifetime?
Who's the star? No, it's not Lifetime. It's on Oxygen, right? Who's
No, it's on
the
Lifetime.
It's on Lifetime. Okay. Who's the star?
David Cassidy's daughter.
Okay, there
Katie.
you go. And she's got a name. She has her
Katie
own
Cassidy.
name. Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll see that 6 o'clock premiere on Friday on Justice Serve TV.
And one more thing, and that is along the lines of Karen Reed. We know that Sean Good, the currently administratively leaved cop in the Karen Reed extravaganza, finally has an attorney. So Jennifer Smith has been identified as his attorney. This is in the wrongful death case in Plymouth. When you're thinking, why? Well, he wasn't sued. No, he's a third party who's going to have some interesting information to share, I imagine. So he needed the attorney. So, okay, that's the
Rip and Read. Rip and Reads. Okay. All right. Next. Now why are we really here? We're really here because we're going to finally came to trial, as we told you, the case of Paul Caneiro, my county, my home county, Monmouth County, where my sister still lives. I feel I was a prosecutor there for 4 years, trial team leader and all. And some of the greatest attorneys in the United States come out of Monmouth
And you're
County.
not biased. That's okay.
I am very proud of my county. I'm very proud of my friends in the county. I started being interested in this case, not only because it was a horrible case in Monmouth County, but my former partners were actually the lawyers for Paul Caneiro, Mitchell Ansell, his father. We had a firm, Mansell, Zarrow, Bennett, Kenny, and Grimm. Mitchell Ansell and one of his partners were the original attorneys for Paul Caneiro. They had to leave because they had a conflict. The public defender, although the jury doesn't know that this is a public defender representing him, public defender stepped in. And after COVID and all these years, we are finally there to see who actually slaughtered, and we call it the slaughter in Bruce Springsteen country because it's in Cold Snake, New Jersey, where Bruce Springsteen has a house, where Jon Stewart has a farm where he deals with animals. Freehold, New Jersey, had a number, I told you, high-profile cases. Bill Kunstler's been there. F. Lee Bailey's been there. I've been there, and our next guest practices there.
I'm going to lay the foundation for this case,
out.
though, Counselor. Let me lay the foundation for the case for those who aren't familiar with it. And just to stand up for California attorneys, we're doing okay. Not just me, but Alan Jackson, a couple of others. So we're fine. We're doing okay. Okay, this is New Jersey versus Paul Caneiro. He's been accused in the deaths of his brother, his brother's wife, and his 2 kids, meaning his nieces. Just a horrible scenario. It's Jesse. Sorry, Jesse and Sophia. Jesse was 11, Sophia was 8. And the theory is that he got in some money trouble. We've seen this motive many times before, but the prosecution says in this case, they had a business together. Paul, the defendant, Keith, the brother, and Paul started dipping into the money, spending it without approval. He was found out, or at least felt like he had been found out.
Allegedly.
And then decided he'd take care of it. Now, even if true that he did some of the things that's why the kids? I mean, it's too much. And then allegedly burned down the house where the family lived, his brother and family lived, and his own house, which is a nice little property. On the stand more recently has been some the first responders, 2 or 3 Porsches there, other expensive cars, all becoming victim to the fire. So the official charges are 4 counts of murder, 2 counts of aggravated arson, and 2 weapons charges related to the murders, both shooting and stabbing in the deaths of those 4 people.
And while we're used to murders, what really gets people is, and we haven't heard it yet, and I'm not going to talk about it in great detail, but how the young niece, a 6-year-old, died. And could an uncle have killed a young niece the way, not just the 11-year-old, but not just the brother, not just the wife, but the 2 children, especially the 6-year-old, in the way that they were killed? So.
Yes. And one other thing is that the defense believes the third-party culprit may be their best defense. And who's that? Another brother by the name of Corey. So that's the groundwork. So now give the big introduction to our guest as we get into this case.
Okay, so again, from Monmouth County, some of the best attorneys in the United States were there. Chaz Giuliano, I've known for years. He knows this courthouse inside out. He can also tell you about some of the things you were asking about, Michael, because this courtroom, when I looked at it, I said, this doesn't look like any courtroom I was in when I was in Monmouth County. It's got the magnificent screen. It's made for media. It's made for a big case. This judge who I'm loving this judge who tries to help the attorneys ask the questions, because sometimes they just can't get the question out. So Jazz, welcome to Justice Served TV.
Good morning, sir, or good afternoon, or good evening.
Good evening, Michael. How are you?
I'm great. So let's start with the judge, Mark Lemieux.
Before we even get to Mark, I want to make one comment, because Linda made some comments with reference to Monmouth County. Linda, in my opinion, this is the biggest trial in Monmouth County since the Capolino case with F. Lee Bailey in 1967.
All right.
And my husband actually testified in that trial.
Well, that was a media circus, that case in 1967. And my late partner, George Chamlin, he represented the main witness against Capolino, who was Capolino's paramour, Marjorie Farber, Colonel Farber's widow.
Oh, wow.
And George made the back page of the Daily News on that case. So he was very happy.
This is a huge case. He was acquitted, then went down to Florida, was charged with convicted. Right, murder of a second wife, I think. Right.
He was charged with the murder of his wife, his first wife, in Florida.
Okay, and then he gets convicted in Florida, and he gets acquitted in the Monmouth County case, which is probably the case he should have been convicted in.
Right.
Yeah, and if you all start Googling it, even if I see Darcy said wasn't born yet, some of the greatest cases, and remember, this is Flea. F. Lee Bailey came back, and my partner, as a matter of fact, he got knocked out of a case for a conflict, and my partner, Robert Ansell.
In Passaic County.
Yeah.
And then eventually I had a case with F. Lee Bailey when I was in the prosecutor's office that we worked out, where he represented someone who was involved in securities in New York. But this guy, we had a minor case in Monmouth County where the guy was a check kiter, and we used to kite checks on the train, gambling, going to the city every day. That's the case we had.
Yeah.
But Leslie Bailey had to consolidate all the cases, so he had to come to Monmouth and get rid of that one too.
Most people know him from OJ, if nowhere else.
Yeah.
But he's a character. That guy was a character.
So,
Okay.
so
He
the
was an
courtroom, the courtroom. What is this courtroom?
He was an interesting guy.
I'll bet.
I had dinner with Lee. He was an interesting guy, a very
Yeah.
interesting guy. Now, your question about Mark Lemieux, very good judge. Actually, had been the first assistant prosecutor when he was appointed to the bench.
Wow. Wow. So he knows how to try a case.
He knows how to try a case. I had cases with him. Excellent trial attorney. Also has a very good demeanor. Good
He
trial
does.
attorney.
And I
Very
wanted
good.
the folks to see just a bit of that when he first takes the bench. He has a little shtick that he goes through with the jury, and you hear him throughout the trial, as Linda said, not just helping the attorneys craft questions, but he will turn to the jury quite often and explain things. So it's unique. Can I let me show a little bit of this? We'll see some of the courtroom in the process.
Absolutely.
And then because it's like they have this special trap door or something right behind his seat there at the bench, and I think I guess that's part of the renovation. It looks kind of unique. Let me find where it is. Oh, there it is. Linda, you got a lot of stuff hanging out there.
I deleted
back
most of it.
page.
I deleted most.
Okay, so here's this is above his head, and let's just let it roll from here where you can see him make his grand entrance through that door. So they got the door basically.
Good morning. Please be seated.
Built into the wall. Now watch this
I'd love to
opening.
hear.
Watch the opening.
Somebody on my staff thought I needed a stress ball. I picked the soft one. There's soft, medium, and I guess harder. So I'm going to see how I do with this. You guys can keep an eye on me, see how I'm doing, all right? I'm glad you all made it back. I appreciate that. We are back on the record with State of New Jersey versus Paul Caneiro. It's indictment number 19-02-0283. Can I have the appearances of counsel for the record?
Okay, then we go through that. Let me see if I can get a wider shot. Let me just zoom ahead here and see if I can get a wider shot. Well, that was the detective who took the stand. We'll hold off on that for now. What do you think? What do you think of that? The sweater on the defendant. Is it working? Is anybody?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
It's such a bold choice, you know.
You would have thought he would wear a dark jacket,
This was the first day of the sweater. I'm assuming it'll be the last. But it was. I mean, it just seems a little desperate. Seems a little, trying too hard.
Menendez. Is that a little Menendez brothers?
No, it didn't work. Didn't work for them.
Yeah, remember they were in pastel colors sweaters that Leslie Abramson put them in. For those of you who now know the Menendez brothers, they know them only because they were trying to get parole because that's such an old case. Yeah, so this does have a little chessboard on it, doesn't it?
It's very,
it's
very
color coordinated, though.
It is
color coordinated.
It's very preppy.
Yes, very preppy.
Very preppy. Anyway, so unless Linda, you have some Q&A you want to get into? Do you want to just dip into some of this trial? What's your pleasure here?
Yeah, I want to dip into some of the trial with Chaz because he can explain to us the players. I will say with Judge Lemieux, this case got delayed because he had the, shall we say, sneakers to suppress a piece of evidence, and that is a camera from the security system in the garage of the defendant. And he said that you needed a warrant to get it, that there wasn't exigent circumstances to take the camera, even the house was on fire. It went to the prosecutor's office, took it to the New Jersey Supreme Court. They reversed that in December, and hence we were seeing today pictures from the car garage. Is that your experience before I ask you about the trial, Chaz, that Judge Lemieux is not afraid, and the fact that he was a prosecutor and he suppressed a warrant, warrant for search?
He is truly a good judge, fair, and does what he thinks is correct, and that's the way he is. So I was not surprised when he made the ruling, and I wasn't surprised when it got reversed. But the fact of the matter is, he made the ruling, and no one can ever label him a pro-prosecutor. He's a good judge.
Good. Some judges are afraid to make the hard decisions because they don't like being reversed.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about the courtroom here. You said it was renovated. How long ago was that?
The former assignment judge passed away very suddenly in May of 2024, Lisa Thornton. And after Lisa passed away, that courtroom was empty for a while. Mark Lemieux became the assignment judge probably 2 or 3 months after Lisa passed, and they had decided that they were going to do work on that courtroom, and it's been done in the last year.
Wow. Okay. So one of the things we've pointed out that we like is this. It's like being at the drive-in. You have the major screen there that they use for both a shot, obviously, of the witness or the courtroom or exhibits.
It's really interesting. I was telling Linda, I actually sat in on the case yesterday. I saw part of Debbie Bassinger's testimony, and seeing all the changes in the courtroom, it really is let's put it this way: it's viewer friendly when you're there, being able to see the displays that are there. It's really a modern technology courtroom.
Yeah, and for those, just to put people in perspective here, to the hard left would be the jury looking straight across into that screen. So
exactly
makes sense. Now let's talk about this witness, because she is, I think the legal phrase is hard ass. She is really,
she's a pro. She's been around a long time,
and she's not afraid
with her.
She's not afraid to give it back.
No, she's not. She's tough. She's good at what she does. She's a professional.
This was this morning when she returned for continued cross. Let's listen to a couple of bits and pieces of this.
Talk about his finances for 2017 and 18. I don't have the exact number moving forward.
Okay.
There's a lot of moving parts to it based on other disabilities that he would be getting.
Okay. But would it be more than 9,000, which is what is listed in your report? Do you know that one way or another?
I don't know that, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll see if you want to ask a follow-up to that, because now I understand. Let's see where it goes.
Okay. So what I was saying before is, that I understand that your review of this case was limited to the years 17 and 18.
For my purposes here at this trial, yes.
Yes. But we know very well, of course, that you received records outside of that period, both before and after.
Sun Life did provide additional payments in 2019.
And you know that those additional payments were for the amount of $7,430.
In which year?
In 2019, 2 payments were issued to Paul, 2 checks, both in the amount of $7,430.
You'll have to show me. I don't have that information in front of me.
Understood. Judge, this is D59.
Now, while she's looking at that, let me ask you this, Charles. First of all, you don't often see a judge interacting this directly with a witness. As an attorney, to be honest, sometimes in that scenario, you don't like it, because it almost makes it look like I'm doing a crappy job and the judge has got to step in and make me look better to fix things for the jury. But if I'm on the jury, I appreciate it.
You're 100% on the money, and your analysis is correct. The attorney, you're going to resent it, thinking he's making me look bad. But the jury loves it because it clarifies what's going on for them.
Who's questioning? Who's doing the questioning?
Oh,
right now?
yeah. Let me bring that up to speed. This guy is defense attorney Andy Murray, and not the tennis player. And they're talking about the money that was paid from Sun Life, which was an insurance company that covered payments to Paul for disability.
His disability payments.
Yeah. So what they're trying to do here is negate that he had a financial motive.
Exactly, because he was
That's the
getting
bottom
monthly
line.
payments.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, I mean, these numbers are not, retire and, go to Palm Springs kind of money, but it's, I don't know if it diffuses the money he was disappearing from the company or not. What about, and Linda asked me about this earlier, that little blue thing in the back, which shows somebody at a microphone, that means the microphone is hot. Is that what that means?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
recording? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's recording.
Okay, so it just gives everybody like, hey, don't think you're doing anything privately. It's being recorded.
Exactly. In fact, they warn you when you go into those courtrooms now because of the recording system that you may be recorded. So watch what you say when you're at counsel table.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. I think that's fair. Okay, let's see what else. She's, you can see that she's not giving what she doesn't feel is appropriate. She's making him drag it out of her.
Let me tell you something. She's testified hundreds of times.
She really looks like a TV detective to me. Like she could be on Law and Order or something.
It's true. It's true.
So why are they discussing and why are they so concerned? Obviously, the crime allegedly took place in 2018, and these are payments after the fact. So explain why this might be an issue.
With reference to which issue?
To her involvement, now she's like, up to 18, I'm here and I've got that covered. But now they're asking about 2019, and she's like, I don't know. I don't know.
And why should she know?
And is it even really relevant?
Precisely.
Well, let's see if
because of the date of the crime.
Yeah, let's see if she gives him any guff here.
Showing you D59.
Okay, thank you.
You can just look on the first and second pages of that form.
No, you should say, does that refresh your recollection as to what, I mean, okay, but I can't go there.
Tell me what it is that you're looking at.
These are checks payable to Paul Caneiro from Sun Life Insurance Company. There are checks dated, one in February and January of 19, and the other checks are all dated in 18 and in 17. Okay.
And that was the judge asking for clarification. It wasn't the attorney, it was the judge. So helpful.
The checks in January and February of 2019 are for the same amount, right?
February is in the amount of $7,430, and the January check is in the same amount, yes.
Okay. So we have two checks now for $7,430. You know that Sun Life changed the benefit amount to offset for Social Security, right?
Yes,
You know that Paul was receiving over $2,400 a month in Social Security, right?
on average,
That
yes,
amounted to on average about $29,000 a year.
correct,
On average, he was then going to be getting $7,430 a month from Sun Life, right?
correct,
And then over the course of a year going forward, he was going to get $104,000 from Unum.
correct.
Okay. So, and those are the disability policies that we're aware of in 2018 going into 2019, correct?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so and we'll move on to some other stuff, but the Social Security issue is interesting to me, and I've done a little research on this in the recent years. That that $2,400 he's getting from Social Security, they take part of that because he was he's 51 right now. So if you're pre-retirement age, then they basically take $1 for every 2 you make. And what I didn't know till just recently is that you get that money back eventually when you reach full retirement age. So even though his monthly income was diminished because he got the bigger pension check or the bigger disability check, the Social Security money is not gone. It'll come back. So for those who are getting close to considering what Social Security is all about, keep that in mind. So just a little free service for you. Okay, should we zoom ahead and find something else here? Let's see what we got.
Yeah, let's play trial roulette.
Play true crime roulette. Here we go.
Crime roulette.
Somebody tell me when to stop.
Okay, good.
Right there. Okay. This was a neighbor, as I recall. Let me see if we can back up a little bit.
Were you, Chaz, were you in the courtroom for this or
No, I was only in the courtroom for Deborah's testimony.
Deborah's
Okay.
testimony? All right, let me just stop right here, Michael.
Yeah, this is a good shot of the courtroom.
This is a really good shot of the courtroom. You know, when I was there, there weren't all these paintings were all on the side and the front. These are all the assignment judges of Monmouth County. I assume that's still the same way. But it's really interesting because Michael O'Brien and I have this argument all the time. After the O.J. Simpson case, California passed a rule, a court rule regulation, that you cannot show the well of the courtroom with the people there because they don't want the cheering. Yeah. You know, like a Broadway play. And so I always like to be in courtrooms where only the attorney and the witness is shown. In some courtrooms, you don't even show the judge anymore. In Atlanta County, as a matter of fact, where I just tried a case, the judge is not even shown anymore on the Zoom. But you see the people that are here, and let's see, do I know anybody here? I know the day before you, Mitchell Ansell was in the gallery. Chaz, we could probably go back and find when you were in the gallery.
Sure.
And see the reactions of people of
I was in the gallery, but I was on the other side. I was closer to the jury.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because
you won't see me.
That side looks pretty bare.
It was very bare because you had a couple of reserved rows.
Okay.
On that side, but I was in the first row, really almost next to the jurors.
Okay.
Yeah. I was supposed to apply for a press pass, but I got so busy I didn't. And then in New Jersey, it takes like 3 months to get a press pass. So I figured you could just walk in and sit down.
We're going to go in there. We're going to do something.
Yesterday morning, there was a lot of room yesterday morning because there really wasn't for spectators.
I think as this case becomes more developed, that's going to change. I think people
will.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, since you were there and you were cozying up to the jury, give us your description. What do they look like? They got 16, right? I think I saw that.
I'm going to tell. Linda will understand this better.
Well,
it's a Monmouth County jury, Linda.
Okay. And what he means.
Anyone want to translate for us California boys?
No, she'll translate it for you. That's why I threw
what
it up.
he means by that is it's really not a very diverse jury.
Okay.
It's an older jury, pretty white, right? Most of them are retired.
Right.
And aren't actually working. That's what he means. And they're probably taken from the surrounding area. They're probably going to have a lot of Manalapan, Marlboro jurors on that jury. By the way, my co-counsels, I just will give you in the Aiden Carney case, are both from Monmouth County. I won't tell you the areas, but so when we say Monmouth County jury, we all kind of know what a Monmouth County jury is, and it hasn't changed very much from what I gather. Right? Do I have that on the head?
You hit it right on the head.
Yeah.
That's why I threw it up to you. It's a Monmouth County jury.
Yeah.
All right, then. And so are there 4 alternates? Is that right? Did I get that right? I think there's 16 total bodies there.
Yeah.
And for a case that is expected to last, I heard 5, 6, 7 weeks. Did you hear differently?
They see this going into March.
Okay. So a minimum 6 weeks then. Okay.
Yeah, 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. I didn't think it would take that long. I thought it would take about 4 weeks.
Okay. So they should be stacked well enough with alternates. Okay. So there's the courtroom.
The prosecutor. Who are the prosecutors and who are the defense attorneys?
I'll tell you what I know, and then Charles can tell me if I'm right or wrong.
You go ahead.
Nicole Wallace and Chris Decker are the prosecution team, and Monica Mastalone, and we heard Andrew Murray there. Monica is she's crossing in this particular shot. She's crossing behind the.
They're good lawyers. Caneiro has good lawyers. They know what they're doing. They have a good feel for the courtroom. The 2 prosecutors are very experienced. I've had cases with both of them over the years. They're good, solid trial lawyers. They know what to do and how to do it.
Interesting. Well, this thing's been so long in the making because of evidentiary issues, COVID, et cetera, that I'm sure those, especially in the area and in that office, have been chomping at the bit to get this thing. I mean, champing at the bit, to get this thing going.
They have been.
Yeah.
They've wanted to move this case a long time.
Okay, let's see if we can get to the neighbor here.
So that's the reason why they're not waiting for us just to call them in.
This was interesting too. Again, the judge explaining the process to the jury. right? He's explaining that the witnesses can't be in the courtroom during testimony. So when they call for a particular person, there is that delay while they're fetched.
He's explaining sequestration.
Yeah, and he doesn't even use big words. He just says they can't be in the courtroom, and so it's not like they're disorganized. The jury, some jurors might think, yeah, these people, can't they get their act together? Get the people in. But the judge takes a moment to explain, no, that's not the way it's working.
I'm outside. I don't want you to think that people are not prepared or whatever it is. It's required for them to stay outside. Okay. All right. Ma'am, come on over. Just watch your step when you step up.
There's so many courtrooms we hear that phrase, watch your step, I just wonder.
Don't mind.
They've
Once
had
you get comfortable, can you put your
tripping
left hand on the
incidents?
Bible, raise your right hand for me. Again, when you're comfortable, take your time. Solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth,
look at that.
and
Look
nothing
at
but
that
the truth,
face.
so help you God.
Oh,
Yeah,
take a seat.
Look at that face.
He's eyeballing her but I'm not sure in what context. We don't know yet who she is. If you're the jury, you're going, why is he? He's really eyeballing her.
Get yourself comfortable, and then when you are, can you state your full name for the record and spell your last name, please?
Heather Capp, CAPP.
Prosecutor?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Capp, good morning.
Good morning.
Ms. Capp, can you tell us where you live?
I live on Tilton Drive in Ocean Township,
Approximately how long have you lived?
approximately 15 years.
Now, I want to take you back to the early morning hours of November 20th of 2018. Do you remember that morning?
I do.
Now, was there a point in time when you were awoken from sleep that morning?
Yes.
Can you tell us exactly how that happened?
I woke to male voices outside my home. I turned, I looked at my clock. It was 4:30 a.m. in the morning. I got up, I opened my window shade, and I looked out my window. I saw two men running across the street with flashlights. They were in dark colored clothing and black baseball hats. One ran to the front door and started banging on the door, and the other went into the neighbor's driveway, kneeled down, and was pointing the flashlight into Paul's backyard.
So let me just break that down for a second. You talk about you woke up, you believe it was approximately 4:30 a.m., correct?
Yes.
So based upon being woken up, what exactly did you physically do?
I woke up and I looked at my clock.
Okay, you look at your clock. Did you get out of bed?
I did, got out of bed,
Once you got out of bed, where did you go?
to my window.
Now, your window, can you tell us what you can see from outside your window?
My bedroom window is to the top right of my house. When you're facing my house, I can see the Caneiro house and the neighbor's house. It's situated in the middle of both homes.
So do you live on the same side of the street or the opposite side of the street from the Caneiro house?
Across the street.
Now, I could just approach Judge, the witness with S1, I believe it's S1A 27 Tilton Drive, Alpha.
Okay.
I do have to suggest they have a very convoluted exhibit marking system here. I think it's far more complicated than it needs to be. But that's just me. So that's Ms. Mastalone.
Scott, we're just approaching you with S1A. If I could just show you first, slide 9. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
Yes,
And what is that?
the Caneiro home.
Okay. And when you referenced two different homes that you could see when you look out your window, correct?
Yes,
And you referenced this home, correct?
yes.
And then whose home is the other one you referenced?
Marilyn?
Okay. And would she be next door to the Caneiro home?
Yes,
Okay. Now, this picture, I know obviously there's some tape in there, but does that accurately depict the way that you recall 27 Tilton looking in November of 2018?
Yes,
Just going to show you slide 10 for purposes of identification. Do you recognize what's depicted in that slide?
yes.
Okay, what is that?
The Caneiro home and a part of Maryland's driveway.
Okay, now, so does that accurately depict what the Caneiro house and that portion of Maryland's driveway looked like back in November, specifically November 20th of 2018?
Yes,
Okay, so I think we can assume these haven't been entered into evidence yet, or he'd be showing them to the jury. He's laying the foundation through
He's
this
laying the
witness.
foundation to put them in.
Yeah.
Can I just also make a point here? It's really interesting because if you look at the screen, I don't know my eyes were actually off the witness because I was looking at what the judge was flipping through. I was like, oh, what's that judge flipping through? So it's kind of an interesting camera angle because I gathered the camera angle had changed because the way it was, you could see the exhibits in the black exhibit book, right? So they changed the camera angle, and then I was like, oh yeah, I want to see what the judge is doing.
Here's what I
So-
think's happening. This is just my guess based on the technology. It's sound activated, these different camera locations. And if he's, making noise, doing something at his desk, it could, because it's almost distracting to see it jump from those different shots. If you're the attorney, you want your attention on her until they put an exhibit up. But I think it is sound activated, and that's why it's jumping around. That's not a court TV thing.
Okay, Chaz, talk to me though about this look. Okay, here you have Paul Caneiro, right? He looks like he is just staring at her. She looks like she wants nothing to do with him,
Well,
even
it's
though
it's the next
right?
door
Talk
neighbor.
to me about
Yeah.
And this is the next door neighbor. Talk to me about it, how that looks to the jury, because to me, I think there's issues.
It's not good for him looking that way. If the jury observes that, jury makes that observation, she's the next door neighbor. She's just going to testify as to what she saw that morning,
Yeah. Yeah. And it makes it look like he's trying hard to, connect with her.
Yeah.
And she's like,
No, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see if they put these up on the big screen for everybody to see.
Let me show you slide 11. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
yes.
Okay, what's that show?
The Caneiro home.
Okay. Do you see a portion of one side of the home in that photograph?
I see the right side by his fence.
Okay. Does that accurately depict that area of that home, November 20th of 2018?
Yes,
And then finally, I think this is the last one I'm going to show you for now. Slide 12. Do you recognize what that shows?
yes.
What's it show?
It shows the Caneiro home and Maryland's driveway to the right.
Okay. And are there any vehicles depicted in that photograph?
There is.
Okay. And were they there when you first made observation out your window on that morning?
No.
Okay. Were there any vehicles in that driveway when you first made observations that morning?
Not to my recollection.
Okay. Does this picture accurately depict the Caneiro house and Maryland's driveway?
Yes.
Let me just show you one more before we go any further.
I
Slide
feel like a
13,
juror. I
verse
want to
1.
see. I want to see the pictures.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what's depicted in that photograph.
Yes.
And what is it?
The side of the Caneiro home and a portion of Maryland's driveway.
Okay. And that portion of Maryland's driveway, does it have any vehicles in the driveway in that photo?
Yes.
And again, were they there when you first made observations that morning?
Not to my recollection.
But does that accurately depict the side yard and that driveway of the side yard of Mr. Caneiro's house?
Yes.
Permission to publish this?
Oh, thank
Objection.
God.
Yes. Remember, this is Paul's house.
Yes. Chaz, do you know whether his house still is there, or was it sold, or is his wife
Just for the
still
record,
living in it?
S1.
Do you know if his house is still there, Paul Caneiro's house?
To my knowledge, Paul's house is still there.
And his
It's in
wife, I
Wayside
believe, is
in
still
Goshen Township.
okay. And I think his wife is still supportive of him. I wonder if she lives in the house. So I'm gonna have to find out.
Slide 9. Scott, did I just show you that photograph?
Okay. And what is, again, does
Do
that
we get
show?
to see it?
The Caneiro.
Oh, there we go.
Essentially, in some ways, across the street from your house?
Yes.
I think you already said it, but does that accurately depict the way it looked in daylight hours on November 20th of 2018?
Yes,
Now, just to be clear, the observations that you made that morning, November 20th, 2018, when you woke up and went to your window, was it light out or was it dark out?
dark.
Can I have S1A slide 10, please? Showed you that picture too, correct?
Yes,
And what does that picture show?
the Caneiro home and Maryland's driveway.
And the vehicles that are depicted in that photograph, were they there in that position when you first made the observation? Did you ever make observations of those vehicles or any vehicles in that driveway at some point that morning?
Believe so.
Can I have S1A slide 11, please? Do you recognize that photo?
Yes,
Okay, when I showed you that a couple minutes ago?
yes,
What does that picture show?
the Caneiro home.
You referenced the fence, correct?
Yes,
And that fence is on, looking at the photo, what side of the picture is it on?
the right,
And that fence, if you know, leads to where?
the Caneiro's backyard.
Kathy, if you could just keep the voice up a little bit? Thank you. Okay, can I have S1A slide 12, please? You recognize that photograph?
Yes.
Okay, we talked about it a minute ago.
Yes,
And can you tell us what's depicted in that photograph?
the Caneiro home and Maryland's driveway.
And again, there's vehicles present in that photograph,
Yes,
but they weren't there when you first made observations. And lastly, can I just have S1A, slide 13, please? And you said you recognize that photo, right?
yes,
And what's that show?
the side of the Caneiro home and Maryland's driveway.
You take that. You go to the for a moment. I'll probably be back to some photos. Now, you wake up, you approach that window, which is on the front side of your house, I think you said.
Yes,
And you said you made some observations of two men.
yes.
Let's talk about them individually. Man number one, what was he doing?
Man number one was running across the street and ran to the Caneiro front door.
At that time, were you also seeing person number two, or were you watching them individually?
They were together, running across the street and then kind of separated.
Now, you say together running across the street. Can you explain, like, where they were in relation to your house, the street, and the Caneiro and Maryland's residence?
When I first saw them, they were somewhere in the middle of the street on their route across the street to the Caneiro home.
And I know you talked about the clothing, but did you talk about what, if anything, they may have had in their hands, observations you made?
Had flashlights.
Okay. Now, the person who ran up to the Caneiro door,
He begins to bang on the door.
can you hear the banging or you see the banging, or
I could
both?
hear it. I could hear it more than I could see it.
Okay. Did you hear any words coming out?
No.
Now, while that person approaches the door, where's the other person?
The other person ran onto Maryland's driveway, kneeled down and pointed his flashlight into Paula's backyard.
So you look out your window, you see the first guy go to the door, you see the second guy somewhere in Maryland's driveway pointing a flashlight, correct?
Yes.
How long did it take you from your first observation to see the guy pointing the flashlight? Approximately,
Pretty quickly.
like less than a minute?
Probably a minute.
Now, once you see the guy pointing the flashlight, can you explain exactly where the light's going?
To the corner of the Caneiro backyard.
Where's that in relation to that, in the one photograph we saw? Let me just do it this way. Can I have S1A, slide 13?
Okay, can I stop this for a second?
We're gonna move on.
But I want to stop for a second. Chaz, this case opened up with a lot of financials. Okay, I understand for motive. We're now having photographs. I'm not sure why. I know we're going to see a little bit of the burnt Porsche. That
There
was
you
in
go.
in
2
the
syllables.
driveway. 2 syllables, and all. They haven't really seen the crime yet. Is I don't know. I don't want to ask. Is it being tried? Is there a reason why it's being tried like this in terms of maybe motive and real time, or
Yeah, I think
what?
I think they wanted to get motive in front of them right away. This is why it happened. Then they want to give them the background in the morning of what was observed at Paul's house. So they're really laying their foundation of when it really gets bad when you look at what happened at Keith's house.
So the theory is he went to Keith's house, according to the prosecution. He killed that family. He set the Colt's Neck, what's been called the mansion, on fire. Then comes back to Ocean Township, tries to set his own house on fire. But his wife and daughter are in the house, but it's not a big fire. In order to suggest that somebody wanted to kill both of the brothers and was trying to then cover up evidence. That's the theory of the prosecution's case.
Exactly. You hit it right on the head.
Okay.
And this fire that they would be talking about, we moved past her testimony, it sounds like it was more an evidence fire than a structure fire, if I can put it that way.
Well, he wanted to make it look like he was also a victim, that there was a duality as to what happened.
Right. And if they're going to point toward the other brother, then they would both be victims of the other brother. Okay. So this is a new neighbor. People were giving him a hard time because it looks like he's going to some sort of picnic or something. He's a little cash. But let's listen to some of him.
Can we get to his cross-examination a little bit?
I think that's where I was going. I think this guy is about done.
Okay, because I did see that, and he's a pistol.
If you look to your house.
Let me get to it here. Hold on,
Exhibit.
because I saw
Did I
Ms.
show you that earlier?
Yes.
Mastalone.
As people know from been watching me, when I was at Harvard last year, I had to do the hold on a second. I had to do the demo on Wednesday night for the whole class and for the whole faculty, about 200 people. It is really a highlight. It's an honor to be chosen. But instead of giving me a student to cross, the Honorable Judge Willie, it just cracks me up. Willie, it's just from Missouri, was there, and he was impossible to cross. He was just impossible to cross. Honorable Willie Epps from Missouri. He was the chief.
He wouldn't give you
magistrate
a yes
judge.
or no answer.
Willie Epps was not. He would not let me cross. I did finally get to cross him one fact per cross. I keep asking the questions for the third time. If you won't answer my question, don't get to. But he was so hard to cross. And when I saw this gentleman here today, he kind of reminded me a little bit of it. So.
Okay, here we go. This is Ms. Mastalone.
Yes.
Had voices, and those voices were multiple voices.
I would say so, yes.
Okay, and they were men, right?
I couldn't tell you whether they were men or women.
Okay, and so do you recall telling the police that they were male voices? Actually, do you recall?
If you read it, I can probably remember.
Let's go back to this. You previously gave a statement to the private investigator, correct?
I talked to him, yes. I wouldn't say it was a statement. It was more like a casual interview while I was outside.
Okay. If I showed you a copy of his summary of your interview, would that help refresh your recollection of some of the things you said to him?
We're talking 7 years ago.
Right, of course. Okay, so I'm gonna approach with D70.
Which I have never seen before.
Okay. That's all right.
Okay.
I just want you to take a look at this
Okay.
and review it and see if this refreshes your recollection as to what you told the investigator on November 24th, 2018 about who you heard speaking.
Okay.
And that's pretty much what it was. If I said males, it could have been, correct.
Okay, and again, like you said, you probably remembered a lot better then than you do now.
Oh, sure. I mean, time degrades everything.
Of course. And when you gave a statement to the prosecutor's office, and I can show this too if you'd like as well. Now, this one you have seen before, right?
Yes, I've seen that.
Okay, so I'm going to approach with what's been marked for identification as SED2. Mr. Harrington, this is a copy of your statement. I'm going to have you, if you flip to the last page.
Okay.
I'm just going to show you that it is 5 pages.
Yes.
And it has, this one has your signature on it.
Yes, it does.
So, and it also has your initials on the bottom, right?
Yes.
Is this one you reviewed at the time?
Yes.
And you wanted to make sure it was accurate, right?
I don't know whether that was the same day or not, but yeah, that's accurate.
No, I'm saying the reason they had you review it and assign it and initial it
Yes,
was so
because
that
it was pretty accurate within reason. Yes, I agree.
these were your words, right?
Yeah, I guess.
When you look at this statement, it's like question, answer, answer.
Right.
Right? Do you agree that these are the questions that they asked you and these were your answers?
If they're written there, that would be what I answered.
Okay.
And the question.
So I'm going to direct your attention to here. And if you could just read that to yourself and then just look up.
Okay.
Okay,
I see it.
So in addition to telling the investigator on November 24th that you heard male voices, you also characterized the voices as male to the prosecutor's office as well.
That's correct.
Okay. And you said you heard them speaking kind of loudly or, but not yelling, right? Or
No, there was, to me, it was very loud.
very loud.
Whether you call it yelling or not, that would be, just
Okay.
how I'm trying to figure it out. But
Subjective is what
no.
you're saying.
Yes, it was more than one voice. I said a male voice, but that could have been,
It
two
was more
male
than one.
voices.
Okay. And when you heard the voices, you were lying in bed.
Yes, that's true.
And you didn't hear specifically what they said, did you?
I did not.
And then you said, I think, is it fair to say you kind of like fell back asleep for a little while?
Well, I let me put it this way. I probably just laid down with my head on the pillow because I usually don't go back. Once I'm awake, I usually don't go back to sleep. It might be a light sleep, dozing off back and forth.
Again, I understand you're testifying right now to what you usually do, but I'm
Yes.
going to direct your attention
Okay.
once again, just back to, this is the statement you gave to the prosecutor's office, right?
Yes.
And you told them I fell back asleep.
Well, I also said up here that it was a light state of sleep. Okay, so when I say sleep, it wasn't really going into a REM type of sleep. It was just
She's lost control of the
my eyes
witness.
closed, being
Yeah, he's now just
semi
lecturing.
light sleep. I don't know how else to explain it.
Gotcha.
Any noise, anything.
I like the reference to
Just to
REM sleep.
clarify
That
it.
was good.
I don't
I don't
understand
sleep
why
very well
she
anyway,
just
so,
didn't get what
it
she
would
only
wanted
be a
by
light sleep
framing
that
the
I'm talking.
questions in a yes/no situation.
Exactly what we teach. She has
It's
lost
just-
control.
It's meandering. It gets so boring,
Boring.
and she's effectively trying to impeach him on such dumb little things about his prior statement.
It's not crucial. The fact of
No.
the matter is, this is a witness. A cross-examination should take about 6 or 7 minutes. Line up what you want to get out of this witness for the jury that you think is good. Make the question into a yes or no situation, and you're off to the races, and that's it.
Yep.
Instead, you're right. This was meandering, and you're going to lose a jury.
Yeah.
Absolutely lose a jury.
And even the neighbor before, do you need 8 pictures of the house? And I mean, it was just a lot. And as Linda said, this thing did not exactly come out of the chute with a lot of excitement. So I don't know. I understand. Let's make motive very important to the jury right out of the box, but you got to spice it up at some point, or they're going to be, checking their watches. I don't know. This
Maybe
case
this is why it's going to take 6 weeks.
that could be. That could be. I mean, this case has so many, outrageous angles and facts that I don't know. I'm a little surprised that they're slow playing it like this.
And in the cross examination here, she's lost control. He's now lecturing her on REM sleep. I went to sleep; it was a light sleep. And why, why impeach him on that? Why impeach him on that? And it even my recollection, it even got worse. I mean, 'cause at some point he says, "And you're not going to put words in my mouth." As to why he says this, so we're like, "Oh my gosh, I think you need to come to our Harvard trial advocacy course here."
Yeah, and it's too bad because when I saw her opening statement, I had high hopes, but this is just this is like a bad deposition, It's
Well put.
you get used to this in a lot of wandering around during a deposition because you're going somewhere you may not even know where you're going.
Yeah, but that's why it's a deposition.
That's right. When
It's
you
not
get to
in front of the
here,
jury.
you better know where the hell you're going at this point. And I don't. I have no idea where she's going.
And he's adorable. He's like Judge Willie
Yes.
Epps. I mean, he's got the jury. He's got it's exactly, they're probably like smiling and saying, "Here he is."
They agree with him.
Absolutely. He would never mislead anyone.
Okay, I'm gonna just let's see. Maybe there's some penetrating moment here. Let's see what happens. This is one of the first cops. Let's watch a little of the cop. Let me get into his testimony here a little bit because I'd rather see some of the cross of this guy.
Let's publish that portion.
Any objection?
This is it's funny. Ms. Wallace looks similar. I mean, look at the two of them side by side. Prosecutor Wallace and Ms. Monica Mestalone. I mean, same.
And Chaz, do you know where the wife of Paul Caneiro is seated and his daughter?
No,
If you know,
What's this marked at?
I don't know.
Okay.
I want to make sure.
Until that were the two officers were looking.
Now you would think that this guy would have some, spicy something, right? This is one of the first responders.
Correct.
But this is to Paul Caneiro's house, not to Keith's house.
Correct. Yeah. And it was his house first. His was the first quote fire.
I think the fire engines are outside here. They're confusing the case we're doing and
2 minutes and
coming to
11
put the
seconds.
fire.
That car, do you see a car in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, whose car is that?
That is the Caneiro's vehicle that they were in.
Was it in the same location there as it was when you first spoke to them?
Yes. Well, after I got their information, yes.
I'm just glad they had body cam in 2018.
Chaz, body cams aren't public, aren't able to be FOIA'd in New Jersey, are they? They're not considered public information, are they? The body cam.
No, but you can make requests for them. Okay. It's changed the whole game. The game is dramatically changed now. Cases that I used to be able to try years ago, can't try them now. There's cameras everywhere.
Let me ask you one other question on this. There was a ruling in the Mangione case in Pennsylvania, which is a two-state recording consent case, where because the officer didn't say to the suspect, Mangione, that he was wearing a body cam and get his consent that he could record him, the prosecution withdrew it because the judge was going to throw it out. In New Jersey, is it a one-state consent, if you know, or is it a two-state consent? And if you ever heard of that being done, because that was the first time I heard.
I haven't heard of it being done in New Jersey because they're required to record in New Jersey. That's a requirement now. They have to record. If they don't record, that could be a rules and regulation violation, not recording.
And I think they carry those body cams are front and center right here, almost as if it's giving them some sort of implied notice that it's being recorded.
Exactly, that you're being recorded. But the thing that I find interesting now, though, is so many private residences have the ability to record buildings, businesses.
That's right. Yeah, and if you have a Ring camera and you're in a two-party state, do you have to put up a little sign that says you're being recorded?
Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
I think it can lead to some problems in
Certainly
a two-party
can.
state. Yeah. So
Yes, it is.
a couple more minutes of this before we call it.
What are you doing right now?
I'm putting the DVRs and the wires for them inside the trunk of my car.
I mean, even this to me it was just not as dynamic as I think it could have been.
It's you used the word before. This is meandering. This is just you lose your jurors with this.
I saw somebody in the audience yawning.
I know that's never good. And this fire is the lesser of the two fires. The other one was whoa.
Who is this individual?
That's another firefighter who's also the captain of our department, Restar.
And we haven't heard like who's in the house. To me, when I was listening to this today, if I hadn't read a number of these articles, I wouldn't have known what was going on. Now, I know there were opening statements and we didn't go through the opening statements today, but I still wouldn't have known what was going on because I had to read the articles to find out exactly what it was that we were looking at and why we were looking at it. And, so I don't know, whoever tells the best story in a courtroom wins. I'm not sure either of them are telling a good story yet.
Yeah.
Well, true.
That does surprise me in a case that is so chock full of. If this were a movie, it's outrageous. It's frightening.
Horrible case. Horrible case.
So, okay. Well, I guess we're going to leave it there for the moment. We'll definitely be revisiting this. I hope it ramps up. I got to be honest with you.
It's bound to. It will ramp up because the evidence is there. That makes this a very interesting case.
Yeah. And I know you're going to be bumping into the courtroom from time to time. My co-counsel in another case actually will be in the courtroom on Tuesday. And I think I may even make a trip down one day next week. And I hope I will see you when I come.
Let me know what day you're there, Linda, and I'll try to meet you there.
Okay, that'd be great. I'm not going to be wearing a press pass. I'm just going to go as a regular lawyer spectator. Unlike my pod partner who has about press passes from 175 locations.
That's the way to do it, though. Go in as a lawyer. Don't go in as a member of the media.
Do they let you as a public take any electronic devices in there or anything?
No, you can't record in any of the courtrooms.
No, I mean it like just to do posting, anything like that. Sending electronic posts, any of that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think
but I could take my computer in and never take it out. I could have it in my bag, right? Because I'm a lawyer, so I have a lawyer badge. I think I'm still a lawyer. At least.
Yeah. Have you paid your dues? Check that. Check your dues.
Yeah, I have paying my dues.
Yeah.
Right,
in many ways. Yes.
So this is
Charles,
short notice. I
hope,
asked Chaz to come on and
I hope you can come back as this case develops.
I'd love to. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, he knows the lay of the land, see, and that's something that we need. And of course, when we go there, maybe no one will talk to us if we're like, well, we don't know what the story is. Come on, can we move this along? But I'm sure they're doing a really good job. And of course, the jury is only looking at Paul Caneiro right now and saying, because they've heard from the opening statements the horror about this case and wondering what kind of person could possibly do this to 4 people if indeed the prosecution is able to prove his guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. So Oh,
Okay, Charles, any guess where they might go from here in terms of putting on this case?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
After seeing the first couple of days, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not either.
and this is a man who knows how to try a case. Let me tell you.
Is.
Chaz Giuliano knows how to try a case. He knows how to roadmap a case, okay? And if he's sitting there not sure, and you and I are sitting there not sure, we're like, okay, all right.
Well,
Charles,
all
can
I
you?
know is that the two prosecutors are very experienced and they're good,
All right.
they've got good instincts. So this will get better.
Okay, I want you to write down a few suggestions on a blank piece of paper and slide it under their door, just anonymously.
And I'm sure the defense is doing
what
what
happens.
they can with what they have. And I can't wait to hear what the jury is doing by the time you go back to see them.
Linda, you got to come down just to take a look at that jury to make sure I was right.
I will.
Monmouth
Oh,
County jury,
I know
okay?
you're right. I'm sure as soon as you said it, I remember checking off those boxes like, oh, when, as a prosecutor, I was really happy, but the defense attorney, not so much.
All right. Well, sir, we will see you next time then. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Linda.
it.
Thank you for the invite. You guys stay well. Stay well.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
He's a great attorney.
Yeah, so we'll have to.
Chaz is he's not going to tout his own horn, toot his own horn, tout his ability. He's a great attorney.
Yeah, and just seems very level-headed and experience and the opportunity to be inside his head, inside this court is invaluable. So we appreciate that. We'll have to work out when either you are going or we are going, or however that works out. Because
and Darren Gelber may be there. He's going to be there on Tuesday because he's going to try a case.
I think what should drive our decision to do.
And there may be another person that lives in Monmouth County who is going. So we're going to have a lot of Monmouth County people and 2 Justice Serve TV people in and out of that courtroom. A lot. And we're going to be there with the medical examiner. You know that.
That'll be
maybe I should bring my husband with me.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't that be fun?
In most of these cases, that's very near the end, because prosecution wants to, beat the jury over the head with the grotesque nature of the damages and the death. I'm curious to see where they go next, because I really would like to see them amp it up just a little bit for the sake of the jury. So I'm going to check the weather. As the weather, ebbs and flows this time of year, we'll pick a day where it's pleasant.
Right.
We both can't fit in the mobile studio, so we have to be outside.
I'll stay outside, or I can go to my office. My office is in Ocean Township, right near where the Caneiro house is, where I'm of counsel.
That would be interesting to do it outside there.
I'm sure my partners would be happy to see me since they never see me.
Yeah, they're going, are you still involved in this operation? Okay. All right, then. We'll continue to follow this case as well as a few others that are out there. But I think this one has potential to connect with folks. And so we're going to keep on it.
And thank you, Kay Schmidt, for gifting 5 Justice Serve TV memberships.
Kay Schmidt has a habit of doing that. Thank you, Kay Schmidt.
Thank you very much. And again, we'll be traveling some more down for this case. We'll be traveling next Friday for Aiden's case in Massachusetts. But I think that we'll be doing, do we know what we're doing tomorrow night? We may be doing this case.
Yeah, we may. We're going to monitor it, see what else is going on.
We have Uvalde that's going on.
Right. And they did, in that case, have some interesting testimony today. That one is such an odd comparison, because you have a defendant who is somebody who's been charged with the failure to act. Therefore, how much of the gory details do you really need?
Right.
We've talked about before the impact that might have on any appeal. So
yeah, and so maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll do 2 cases, and then Friday we have the premiere at 6:00 of
Inside the Karen Reed movie.
Inside the Karen Reed movie, and then of course Monday is Martin Luther King Day. Most of the courts will be closed. We may do something in honor of Martin Luther King. We'll see, but then we'll have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. Michael Bryant is back in Massachusetts to cover what?
Aiden Carney and the recusal motion for Robert Cosgrove. We'll probably do the show. I'll be up there Thursday night, and then slip into the court for the hearing on Friday, which I think is at 2. I think they've changed the time a couple of times. I think it's at 2. Anyway, so that'll take care of next week anyway. Thursday,
And then the
Friday.
following week, is that the week you're away? No, we're still, you're still
I think
here.
it's one more week, and then that's right. Let's the Richens case.
The
Corey
Corey
Richens.
Richens case is beginning on Fridays. We're going to start doing a weekly
Our primers.
A primer. We have Christina Holbert, who's out there in Utah, who has been doing some legwork for us on that case. And then, so maybe it'll be not next week, but maybe the following week we'll be back in Monmouth County in person. Not that we won't be covering this case here, but maybe we'll be back in person for a few days there, because by then I assume they're going to have to get to the medical examiner's testimony and some of the gory details that is going to put this case in the news. And you have a press pass. I do not, because I was late filing.
We'll link in there. It'll be fine. So, all right then, partner. Everybody have a great evening. We appreciate you joining as always. And
subscribe, share, like, and notify.
Do all of those things, please. Yes, do that. And we'll see you tomorrow night. This is Just to Serve TV. Please try to do the right thing.